Left Germany behind, built a life his way. Rachel, Nevada, dust and light. Jets in the sky, no aliens inside. A hat in the wind, his pickup rolls, an iron will and a heart of gold. Dreamland resort for 30 years strong. Area 51 is where he belongs. No hocus pocus, no fantasy, just hard cold facts. His legacy. Signals run wild. YouTube in his heart, camera live. The FBI came, but they can't break him down. His fire keeps burning, it won't drown. A hat in the wind, his pickup rolls, an iron will. His legacy.
Well, and here we are, folks, live from Rachel, Nevada. And look who is here, Anders from Uncanny Expeditions.
Hey, everybody. It's awesome to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. This, I can see people are already all excited in the chat, and I know they have a lot of questions. Let's hold the questions for the second part. We're going to talk about a few things in the first part, and then we will take all the time it takes to answer your questions. And thank you all for being here. Obviously, big news, your sighting the other day.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that first. I know people want to hear about that.
Yeah, let's dive right into it. So it was, first off, probably the most lucky catch, I guess you could say, because I really, basically my camera that I had, it's a very, very narrow field of view thermographic camera. And there was activity in the night sky. I saw a B2 first, and then I could see something else further down that was just out of range of my thermal to where I couldn't really get a good view of it. I ended up moving spots, and then I happened to pan to just the right part of the sky to where I caught what I'm still not sure to call it, so we'll call it the Dorito.
We call it the Dorito.
But yeah, I was up here. It was 2 nights ago. I camped out off Groom Lake Road the last 2 nights. So yeah, just fortuitous timing.
Great timing, and you know, that night there was really something interesting going on.
Yeah,
I got the audio on my discussion forum on Dreamland Resort. I might put it on YouTube actually. There was a very interesting scanner audio going on that night.
Yeah.
Things that I had never heard of before. Code words that they were using, all snack related, beer related.
It was so strange. Yeah, when you sent me the audio, it really put a very bizarre context to what was going on out there.
We'll play a little bit of that scanner audio, and we're going to show you a still image of what Anders saw there. You know, you gotta understand, you come out here, it is pitch dark at night, you're looking up in a pitch dark sky.
Yeah.
And he was lucky to get this shot. I have no idea how he did it. It was a really lucky catch.
Yeah.
During that mission. And, you know, there was some discussion on my discussion board on Dreamland Resort that it might have been the B2 that I was monitoring on the scanner, but you said you saw that also. And that
yeah. So I didn't see them both in the sky at the same time, but I did first see the B2. That was the first thing that I saw. And I could clearly see the jagged trailing edge in the thermal camera. And then, like I said, I could see a second aircraft at some point in the sky with the B2, but it was too far away. And then after I had lost sight of both of those, that's when I saw whatever I caught at the end.
Yeah.
So,
and let's take a look at, if we may, take a look at that screen. So we got 3 images here on this side. This is the Wichita, Kansas sighting. It looks actually very similar to what you saw night before last.
Yeah.
This is the Amarillo sighting. This is actually an aviationist article from 2014. So this is what, 12 years ago.
Right.
And this is your shot that you took 2 nights ago over
Yeah.
Area 51.
Yeah. Yeah, the first thing I thought of actually was that 2014 photo in Wichita, and I sent that to a friend of mine saying, like, doesn't this look exactly like it? Because it really was a striking similarity. The angle of the leading edge is extremely similar. The Amarillo shot, not quite as much. It's a little bit sharper, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and it looks like it has a little bit of a hollow trailing edge here. It's not a
Yeah.
straight edge
Yeah.
per se. Whereas on this photo, and this was a thermal imaging camera, that basically white is warm, black is cold.
Yep. So you can set it to different settings, but in this case, I had it on white hot. Um, yeah, it's basically it's like a thermal, almost like a hunting scope. So it has a 50 millimeter lens, and you can do some digital zoom with it as well. No kind of image stabilization, which was kind of the tough part with getting video. So it was a little bit of a struggle there, having to really brace myself, and it was windy too. So it wasn't easy, and like I said, a lot of luck was involved because if I hadn't happened to pan to just the right portion of the sky,
Yeah,
I wouldn't have seen it. So,
you were really lucky to
yeah.
get that. And this is a very sharp image of a triangle. So it's not something enhanced. We talked about this before the stream. You didn't do any enhancing other than cropping the picture.
Nope, that's how it looks.
There's
Yeah.
no beautifying it. There's no, maybe this line should be straight. I make a straight line out
No,
of it.
I'll be honest, I haven't even had time to do anything like that. I literally just beamed them over to my phone and threw them up on there just to give people a little idea of what I was looking at.
Yeah, so this is a triangular object. Obviously, the white part here is hot, so it's probably uh, well, it's Dorito shaped. There's no doubt about it. And
Yeah, it's a good word for it. I like it.
what we're looking at is the aerodynamically heated up part of the aircraft, the underside probably of the aircraft. So it could actually have a trailing edge that might be cooler, but this looks really like a very sharp trailing edge. This is obviously the trailing edge. We can see the exhaust coming out. So this is the trailing edge here.
Yeah,
And it's a very well-defined sharp edge.
yeah.
When can you say roughly what altitude, any guesstimate what altitude it was?
I'm really bad at estimating altitude. It's really tough.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
was it, did you hear it? Was there any audio?
I
You can
did.
hear it?
I did hear it. Yep. So I could, at various points, hear sound coming from both sides of me. So I did hear distinctly two different sounds at once.
Okay.
And I can usually tell if it's just an echo versus hearing two separate sources. To me, it sounded like two separate sources of jets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that makes sense because the audio that I recorded, that I'm going to play in a minute here, mostly is the B2 that came out here from Whiteman Air Force Base to the ranges to do its thing.
Mhm.
But it was doing its thing in a very unusual manner, using very unusual code words in the audio.
Yeah.
And someone else who I'm in contact with, who happened to be in a location that is much better for recording audio, said that they recorded stuff coming out of Groom too. So
Yeah.
they recorded several sabers. So my educated guess would be that the B2 was somehow flying off against something out of Groom, comparing radar cross section comparison, something like along those lines.
Yeah.
But this, you were pretty much able to identify this is not a B2. You saw the B2.
Yeah. It immediately
And it
looked
looked
different to me.
Perfect.
Yeah, from my
Perfect.
vantage point. And I will say that a friend of mine saw we call it the Death Valley Dorito between us, but he saw a Dorito shaped aircraft flying very low over a portion of Death Valley that we, for a little while, have been speculating may have flown from Groom Lake. So I was actually planning on doing a little bit of investigating, like trying to position myself directly under a flight path between Groom Lake and Death Valley to see if I could get this Dorito shaped aircraft that he saw.
Yeah.
So I felt kind of fortuitous, not long after having seen this. So
This is as good as it gets. I mean, look at these other two images here. you got the sharpest edge here. I mean, this is proof that they're flying something out of Area 51 that is not known to the general public. I think we can go as far as saying that.
Yeah. Yep.
This is, and we did track it to Area 51. This whole mission was all about assets from Area 51. The B2, I don't know exactly. It seemed to be doing some different attitude angles to where they were maybe comparing the radar cross section of the B2 to this guy.
Could be.
But and you know, a lot of times in the scanner audio, I got the B2 and they're chatting back and forth with the ground and all that. A lot of times the actual high value asset, the object that is under test, uses secure communication. So I would never be able to pick that up.
That makes sense. Right.
Let's just jump in and listen to some of the audio here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now I'm going to play audio that are recorded that same night during that mission between about midnight and 4 a.m. in the morning. Hey, David, thank you for your donation, $20, much appreciated. Thank you very much for your support. It helps support our work here. Okay, let's play this here.
Checking in. Angels 369 for System 380. Start point, we'll hold there. One more count check. Barely readable, if you could just try it one more time and then change the transmitter. Go on Paris for aerial. Aerial copies, pretzel, snack, 5500. Aerial is ready. Profile, natural.
We gotta go to the speaker.
There we go.
01816 at start point.
And you guys are probably hearing an echo now because you're hearing the desktop audio and the audio that the microphone is picking up. So I'm just going to go ahead and mute our microphone for a second here so that you don't get double audio. And just listen to some of these code words that a pretzel, and they're putting hot mustard on the pretzel.
It was
hot
so
cheese,
weird.
Whatever. It's really the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Will be Bush. Confirm. Preparing profile Bush. Aerial. Conditions Bush. Aerial, just confirm that next profile will be Corona. Pretzel, snacks, 0 with cheese. Corona. On conditions of profile Corona. Seconds. 7-1, 5 seconds. 7-1, pretzel, stick in the green. And we'll continue your racetrack hold, Ariel. So just to confirm, we can expect Michelob with garlic next. So extend here in the racetrack.
Okay, let's get the audio back going. So you heard Corona, Michelob, and something with garlic and
Yeah.
pretzel. What the hell? I've never heard anything like that before. That is something.
Yeah.
Aircraft Expeditions say craving beer now. Well, go have a beer. We're gonna have one after the stream.
Yeah, it made me made me hungry and thirsty, that's for sure.
I mean, how do they come up with this stuff? Pretzel with mustard and with hot cheese, and at some point they're talking about the fridge is cooling down and
Yeah, and rehydrating.
rehydrating.
And I didn't realize how unusual it was because I'm not monitoring traffic all the time like Jorg is. So, you know, having his years of radio traffic monitoring, he can really say that this isn't something they do every day.
I've
Yeah.
never heard anything like this. I've heard code words like the Corvette for a system on one of the aircraft,
Right.
but nothing like this where they have beer call signs and snacks. And
Yeah.
somebody just asked who gets to make these calls, who gets to name these things. I have no idea, but somebody was just having a good old time with that.
Apparently so. Yeah.
So extremely unusual, and I don't want to. If you want to listen to the whole thing, it's in my discussion forum on Dreamland Resort, and I might actually make it a video. You can listen to the entire audio. It's highly unusual. This audio is mostly the B2 flying. I don't really pick up the asset itself because I'm probably using secure communications for that.
I'd be surprised if they didn't for something like that. Yeah.
Makes total sense. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, they have the obviously they call it hot mic and tango mic. Tango mic is actually going is the audio from the pilot down to the ground station is backed is piggybacked onto the data stream of the telemetry data. So sometimes I actually hear missions where the pilot, you can't hear the pilot talking to the ground station because that goes down in the telemetry data stream, but you
Hmm.
can hear the ground station talk to the pilot. That's a very common occurrence.
Hmm.
Uh, in this case, they didn't care about anyone listening to the B2, but they did definitely care about somebody listening to this guy right here.
Yeah.
And again, this is something that most likely came out of Area 51. Somebody that I know and that I'm hoping to get a little more information on exactly what the deal was. He said there were several Saber call signs, and Saber is always something out of Area 51.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Instagram page. Some Ian wants to know. Jane wants to know what your Instagram page is.
Yeah. So it's just Uncanny Expeditions on Instagram. All one word.
If I click on this, is that gonna
Yeah, it should open it up.
get you to the? I'm totally Instagram illiterate, so
Yeah, I
I
didn't
don't
used
have
to
an
do a ton
account.
on here, but
there it is. Yeah,
lot more
and I see
active.
you got some stuff from your other expeditions on there too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is just one of the things this guy does. He's all over the place, and he's doing the things I gotta say that I in my younger years did always wanted to do, and you're out there and you're doing it, and I have the highest respect for that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I have the highest respect for how long you've been doing what you do. Because I mean, I can remember on my first trip to Area 51, I was a pretty young kid. It was in 2007. The Dreamland Resort website was still there.
Yeah.
Looks exactly how it does today.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't be here without people like Jorg. Keeping it
Well, thank
real
you.
all these years.
Thank you, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep it real and
Yeah.
BS, and that's what I like about your videos. There's no BS. You don't hype things up.
I try not to. Yeah, I try
it
to
is
keep
what
it
it is.
interesting without, you see a lot of videos out there about Area 51 that they end up just kind of throwing in so much nonsense, and
Yeah.
I want to avoid that, like we were talking about.
And
So,
I appreciate that. I really think that you're on the right track, and your
Thank you.
popularity speaks for itself. I mean, you got what 100 and some odd thousand subscribers, or
yeah, almost 150,000 now, getting
unbelievable.
there. Yeah.
For my little 15,000 subscriber channel. That's an honor to have you on here.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it happens so fast. I still wonder how it happens sometimes.
It does, but it means you're doing something right. You're doing
Yeah,
something
I
that
try.
people appreciate. And I mean, look at all the chat. We can't even really keep track of all the chat in the chat. People really appreciate what you're doing, and even before the stream, I got emails and I got posts on my channel. People were just couldn't wait to see you and to hear from you directly.
Well, yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning in. And honestly, it means the world to me that many people enjoy watching something that I put out. So I
Awesome.
really appreciate it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. And let's talk a little bit about your motivation. If
Yeah, let's get into it.
if you guys have any questions on these sightings, we'll get to questions later. We want to talk a little bit more about what makes Anders tick and what motivates him and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
I got a few questions that I want to ask him, and then we'll take some questions and Uncanny Expeditions for President. How about that?
Oh, no, thanks.
Is that a job?
That's a job I have no interest in applying for. I'll say that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't either. Leave that to others.
Tell you what, I'll be president for one day just so I can learn what happens at Area 51, and then I'm resigning after that.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
But then you can't tell us anything.
You're right.
So no bueno.
You're right.
So do you have any opinion? What do you think is going on at Area 51?
I mean, that's always the big mystery. I mean, obviously we know that classified programs to develop next generation aircraft and weaponry is primarily what's going on. I'm not a big Bob Lazar guy, so we can get that out of there. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna necessarily not going to necessarily go down that rabbit hole. I was saying earlier what it would take for me to believe his story is strong independent corroboration of S4 at Papoose Lake, and I haven't seen it. You know, I'm somebody who thinks extraordinary claims do require extraordinary evidence, and
Well,
we
put,
haven't
yeah.
seen it for
Well
that.
put.
So
Exactly.
I'm basically only interested in what I can document, and other than that, I keep an open mind.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very well said. And I think we're pretty much in line.
Yeah.
We did a little expedition today. It'll be out shortly. I think he's going to do a little thing, and I'm going to do a little thing about what we did earlier today. And we had quite a bit of time to talk. And
Yeah.
I think we're pretty much in line with. I'm probably a little more skeptical than you are.
Yeah, I'm maybe a little more open
But-
to it. Like I'll hear people out. So I've had people basically reach out to me with specific claims about things, and I don't dismiss it. My question is, okay, show me how I could document something like this.
Yeah.
And most of the time they don't follow through with that. But you know, I keep an open mind to it as far as what may be out there to be documented.
Yes, I mean, there's certainly if something funky is going on, it is going on at Area 51. I think we can agree on that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it is
So-
one of the places it would happen.
I think that also covers my next question. Pretty much, what fascinates you about the subject,
Yeah, I mean, it's
the mystery, right?
the mystery, and just I really enjoy the challenge of trying to document things that are purposely in a position to be hard to document. Like there's
Nice.
something kind of satisfying about that, and something really intriguing about that to me. But beyond that, it's really the mystery that's a draw.
I think that's what it was for me when I first came out here. I knew
Yeah.
I wanted to know more about this.
Yeah.
That's more to it. I want to know everything there is to know about it.
Yeah, yep.
And after 20 some odd years, I still can't say I know everything, but
Who can? Yeah.
you know, I wish, and I want to say that at this opportunity, I wish our community was a little more cohesive and would pull in the same direction. There's really no room for BS like that, and so I wish we would all come together and pull in the same direction. I think we could accomplish a lot more than everybody just does on their own.
Yeah, I agree. I think everybody pooling the resources can only help. You know, it's like we were saying, it's a really small community, and there's no time to be fighting.
Right.
Not enough hours in the day for that kind of thing.
So I'm sure a lot of people are wondering when you go on these expeditions. By the way, can we say that you have a new expedition vehicle?
Yeah. So I've teased it a bit on my channel, but I brought my white bus, my Bluebird TC 2000 over here. So it's sitting outside of Jorg's place right now. It's a really interesting rig. Somebody near me was selling it, and I saw a white school bus, and I was like, Area 51.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna grab this. And a lot of the hard work was done with the electrical stuff inside, but I've been customizing the inside, making the living area kind of my own. So
Yeah.
it's a fun little
It is
travel
awesome.
vehicle.
It is awesome. And folks, so if you're at Groom Lake Road and you see a white bus go by, it may be the white bus or it may just be Anders.
If it's a little
driving by.
shorter than you're usually used to seeing, it's me. So, but I did have a guy on a motorcycle do a double take at me, you know, thinking I was the employee bus.
It was so cool today driving down the highway. We met outside of Rachel, and I'm driving down the highway, and I see this white bus out there, and that's got to be him.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
no, it's absolutely hilarious to have this white bus.
Let's see, I think I was going to respond to Aircraft Expeditions. He
Yeah,
asked what the
go for
coolest
it.
aircraft that I've captured. Well, I mean, other than the mystery, I guess I'm gonna have to go with the YFQ-42A for now. I was really excited that I got to see that out of the hangar very briefly. There was also at the end of that video, there was something else in the hangar that I wasn't quite able to get a good identification on. It was another drone at the General Atomics facility that was further back inside the hangar.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. I wish I could have seen the rest of it. I only saw like the nose up basically.
Yeah. Well, that happens a lot. But,
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
the thing is, if you want to discover something, if you want to see something cool, you got to go out there. That's what you're doing, and that's what I admire. I mean, you got all this energy to go out there and go to these places that other people just dream of going, and you see stuff. That's
Yeah.
what happens when you go out there. You educate yourself a little bit, and you are going to. It's not a big magic trick it's just you got to go out there and you find something.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one thing to just read about these places at home, but to actually realize that this is a place I could physically go
Mhm.
and document what I see, that is really what I try and capture.
Yeah,
So,
and I think it comes across as that, and
yeah.
it comes across as that you really enjoy what you're doing.
Oh, it was my hobby even before I started getting into YouTube. So,
It's
of course,
absolutely
making your
fantastic.
hobby a job kind of has its own trade-offs, but I
Yeah,
enjoy
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's really. I mean, it doesn't seem when I look at your videos, you're genuinely there. You're doing it. You're in the moment. You're not really thinking about, oh, how many viewers is it going to get, and how you know. Yes, that is an important thing too. I mean, you're doing it for a living, so that's one thing. But you're right there. You're with it. You're enjoying what you're doing. And
Yeah.
we talked about your trip to that spring out there on the other side of the test range.
Which spring?
Uh, I can't think.
Talking
Jesus.
about Tickaboo or
No. On the other side of the spring where you go into the restricted area, pretty
oh,
much.
Stonewall
Stonewall.
Spring.
Jesus
Yep,
Christ,
yep,
senior
yep.
moment. Thank you. You drive up Stonewall Mountain. I have thought about doing that since I started being interested in Area 51. I've never done it. And
Yeah,
I totally admire you just saying, "Look, I'm just going to do it. I'm going in there." And in your video, you can tell that am
I
I
had a
really
little
supposed to be here?
trepidation, yeah,
Yeah.
because the pictures that I'd seen prior, there was a clear sign that said you're allowed to pass if you stay on this road and don't veer off and head straight to your destination.
Yeah.
Somebody decided that sign was no longer going to be there,
Yeah.
so I was like, well, I hope that permission is still valid. I'm still here and haven't gotten an FBI knock from that yet. So,
Yeah, well, just by guilt by association, you might get one now.
oh,
No, just kidding. But that is you folks. You got to understand when you go out to do these things that very few people before you have done. It's really your heart is beating, and you're really, am I really supposed to be doing this? Is this a good idea? You
right.
question yourself a lot, and I really admire you having the balls to do it. Let me
Well,
put it
thank
that
you.
way.
Yeah, Brian asked if we have recording of the engine noise, and unfortunately, no. The thermographic setup doesn't record audio, at least not the way I have it set up. And if it did, it would be very poor quality. So
That would be interesting though, because you might be able to get something from the engine noise. So that might be
yeah,
something for for your setup. In addition, to have some kind of a directional microphone, maybe even have it
honestly, just a
mounted.
separate field recorder next to
Yeah,
the camera.
yeah, or have it
Yeah,
mounted in such a way, a directional microphone that you can actually you point it in the direction that your camera is pointed,
yeah,
something
yep.
like that. So there's always another thing that you can do.
Every time I go out and shoot something, I realize new limitations of my current setup, and I try and upgrade to what I need next. So
There's always the next bigger thing.
yeah, yeah, and you don't realize it until you actually go out there and use the gear that you have. At least that's what I've experienced. So
Right. So it looks like there's a question, all caps here. Daniel, what's in the hangars at the facility just south of the test site crater field? Northrop Grumman, I believe you said, runs it. Oh, that's he's probably talking about the Yucca airstrip.
oh yeah,
The that's I think that's mostly run by Lockheed.
yeah. I don't know that Northrop Grumman operates there. I could be wrong.
I think it's mostly Lockheed, and it's probably just like Grom, more of a contract facility. Whoever has a need to be there is going to be there.
Right.
Uh, I don't. I've never laid eyes on it. Actually, I've laid eyes on it from a distance during the Nevada test site tour.
Right.
You can see it on the other side of the dry lake bed. And I asked the tour guide, what is the facility there on the other side of the dry lake bed? What facility?
Yeah. I'm
So
upset they apparently canceled those tours, at least for the time being, too.
yeah, I think they did.
They did, yeah.
At first, they prohibited or they made it U.S. citizens only,
Right.
and I think now they canceled them altogether.
Yeah, I think as of February, they're no more, as far as I know. So
Yeah, well, hopefully they'll pick it back up because those tours. Have you ever done one?
I haven't. That's why I'm upset. 2026 was going to my year to do
Yeah.
it, and
It's awesome. You can't take a camera,
I know. Yeah.
but it's a very interesting tour. You get as close as you possibly can from the other side to Area
Right.
51. It's a Dan crater,
Yeah.
and the last couple of times I've actually done the tour, I think 4 times, And a couple of times I asked the tour guide, well, these power lines, they go over the hill there. Where do they go?
Right.
I don't know. Then I said, I think they go to Area 51. He just looks at me. There is no Area 51 in the Nevada test site.
Of course
Okay.
not.
But yeah, it's a shame that they don't do those tours anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, in that same along those same lines, have you had any run-ins with security at all
I mean,
that
kind
you
of
can
just
talk about?
yeah. I mean, just kind of your standard stuff. I haven't had anything that I would consider like a run-in. You know, they do this the standard. Obviously, Area 51 security, the camo dudes, they have a very hands-off approach
Yeah,
unless you cross the perimeter. Probably the most interesting thing that the camo dudes specifically have done is one time when I spent the night at Campfire Hill, they would drive around the loop about every hour, 2 hours, and just lay on the horn, so I couldn't sleep the whole night. So like I don't know if there was a different guy working that night or what, but they just really did not let me sleep in there that night.
yeah,
And that's okay because I was sky watching anyway. But
yeah.
you know,
Well, they probably knew who you were.
yeah, I'm
Okay,
sure.
we're gonna mess with this guy.
Um, I did have when I was going to the Gray Butte facility recently. I was a couple miles from the front gate, and I had a security pickup that was coming the other way. Flip a U-turn and follow me really close, like all the way to the front. And like, how did they even know I was going to the front gate? So I kind of feel like I pinged on a plate reader or something, maybe.
Probably.
Because they went up and they said something to the guard in the guard shack, and then they turned back around and kept going
Yeah.
after I pulled over. So
They might have facial recognition you. Or,
yeah, I mean that was basically confirmation that I'm probably on some list somewhere.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
how quickly that happened. So
And today we had a little bit of that treatment.
yeah.
We went to a gate that is very. It'll be in my video. I don't want to give away too much, but we went to a gate that takes a little a little doing to get to, and we were greeted by a security truck with the lights on top on and with the dashboard lights on.
Yeah, they had grill lights and everything. It was an interesting setup.
They wanted to make sure that we understand. Okay, there's the signs, and you don't want to go past, and we didn't. We just
Yeah,
did a little video, and it'll be on. I know it's going to be on my channel. It'll probably end up
yeah,
in one of your videos very soon. But they, like I said, they don't engage you. They will do whatever it takes to get your attention. I think I told you earlier on that same location that we were at today. That was when I had my one and only encounter with security,
right.
where they apparently were concerned that I didn't know what the border means, that I would trespass. They came driving across the desert, barreling towards me, stopped right in front of me, and this guy gets out and he's like, "You're really pushing it, partner, aren't you?"
Yeah,
So
yeah, I got a kick out of that.
that's about the only time I had a run-in with security.
Of course, sometimes they'll send the Ghost Hawk helicopters out
Yeah.
too, so
Yeah,
that's
too.
always a nice surprise when those come out.
Have you ever got a sandblast treatment?
Not quite a sandblast. I had one dive extremely low over the roof of my van. Like I don't. It was a crazy low and
Really?
pull up right away. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was interesting.
I have never even had that happen. That's interesting. That again, you're a known player in the field right now. So
That was when it was earlier on. I don't know. I mean, they probably were able to find me, but I didn't have quite the reach then yet. But
Yeah. And I just see Captain Calculus. Thank you very much for your donation. Much appreciated. Hey, love you both. I'm watching New Zealand. Greeting to New Zealand. Beautiful country, I hear. I hope I will see it someday. We have weird stuff flying over us here and have US Air Force cargo in and out. The rumor is that they are doing long distance testing over the Pacific. Any thoughts? Here's a little bit of love. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
yeah,
I don't know much about the operations there.
I don't either. You know, I would love to do some international expeditions. So if there's any kind of secret sites in New Zealand that are worth exploring, I'm definitely all ears.
Yeah.
I know Australia has Pine Gap, which would be interesting. It's kind of hard to film, from what I've heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't quite have the same public land filming privileges. you could
Right.
say.
And that's one thing that
But
we really appreciate in this country. I don't know of any other country where we could be doing what we are doing
yeah,
without any repercussions.
right.
So me being an American by choice, I really appreciate that about this country.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think you and I would agree that we do not do this to hurt this country, but to just satisfy our curiosity
yeah.
and our viewers' curiosity.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a believer that, documentary imagery from a distance is really not as damaging as some people out there think it is as far as
Right.
security. We're not like posting schematics or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I'm not a Chinese spy and has nothing to do with that.
Well,
So
on that note, maybe Chinese, that was a keyword. Maybe we should talk about your accident.
yeah, we could definitely dive into that one. So obviously, yeah, lots of speculation about the accident as far as was it a deliberate attempt to, thwart my efforts, and I don't see any evidence of that. So it was a lot of people looked at the white Ford and they're like, oh, it's a camo dude truck. I did look into who owned it because it was a company vehicle and it was registered to a large Chinese company.
We should probably give those that don't know what we're talking about a very quick
Yeah,
rundown.
sorry, I'm ahead of
You
myself.
you were hit by a vehicle
Yeah.
in your rig that you use for filming, and that is pretty much known in the field. People know what it looks like, and you were hit on a highway, was it? Or-
Yeah, it was a highway. It was believe it was Highway 58, but it was in Southern California, very close to the Tejon Ranch site that I was working on filming at the time. And yeah, I basically just a white pickup came off of an intersecting road and just plowed right into the side of the van and totaled it. Um, yeah,
I'm glad you're okay.
luckily, I had no injuries. Little bit of equipment that I had in the front seat ended up getting damaged,
Yeah,
and obviously the van itself was totaled. So
but okay, so it was a Chinese company that owns
yeah,
this vehicle.
yeah. Um,
Do we?
I don't feel like that's necessarily an indicator of anything, but
Yeah.
it
I-
at least puts at least it rules out it being a U.S. government vehicle or something like that.
Right.
Because the amount of people that asked if it was a camo dude, I got so many comments.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I think accidents happen, and it was probably just one of those situations where somebody didn't pay attention.
yeah, I
Did
think
did
so.
the guy? How did was there any interaction going on? I mean, did you get any indication that the guy knew who you were? Or?
No, I didn't get any indication that he did. It was not a lot of interaction, just the standard formalities,
Yeah.
when you have
Yeah.
an accident. And yeah, luckily it didn't turn out worse than it did because it definitely could have. And someone who had viewed my videos before was actually the first guy who stopped and helped me, but he didn't recognize me at the time. It wasn't until later he's like, "Wait a minute, I've seen you before," in the comments of a future video. So I thought that was
Awesome.
kind of funny.
Well, I'm glad you're okay, and equipment
Yeah.
can be replaced, and
Oh,
you know it's one of those things, and I think we can maybe clear up that misconception that there really was likely no foul play.
Yeah,
I don't think they would stoop that low. They use other means like they did with me, send the FBI your way or whatever.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you haven't done anything that would warrant that. I mean, you're really one of the most respectful YouTubers that I can think of. That you keep your distance. You don't you're not in their face. You're not doing this confrontational. I'm gonna chase the camels kind of stuff. You don't do
No, yeah. I mean, there's really nothing to be gained from being a nuisance to security.
Right.
Like, other than maybe getting clicks if somebody's looking for that, you're not going to learn anything interesting by doing that. And so, I mean, these days, if I do that, if I end up following an NTTR vehicle or something, I'll always make sure their faces are blurred out or anything like that to go out of the way to not dox them or be a nuisance. So.
Yeah, that's good
Yeah.
practice.
Because we're interested in the operations and the technology, not getting people in trouble or harassing them.
Exactly, and that's exactly how I feel about it. I've done some crazy things in the beginning that I'm not very proud of. I would never do those things again. Nothing illegal, but things that really didn't serve any purpose other than um, getting myself potentially in trouble, and it's just not worth it. We, these and when you listen to security communications on the inside, when I listen to it on my scanner,
Hmm.
they are very matter of fact. Okay, well, we got visitors coming your way. Okay, well, keep an eye on them.
Hmm.
Not these damn tourists are coming down again. Nothing like that. It's very matter of fact. They are
Yeah.
relaxed. That's their job, and I think to keep it relaxed on both sides is important.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh,
Yep.
did you see any questions in there that you wanted to
Uh,
get back to? I know, folks, we're going to get to questions here in a minute. I apologize if we miss stuff. We get so involved in talking here.
just to clarify, Dana MC White, it wasn't the 5 freeway that goes through the Tejon Ranch property. This was Highway 58 out of Lancaster, so it was a much smaller highway, not the 5 freeway. Just to clarify on where it was.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if I missed anything.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll get to questions in a minute. I think I got a couple more things that I want to talk to you about. And okay, we already talked about the accident, the drone crash. Obviously, another big thing that happened around here.
Yeah, yeah. That
Uh,
was a moment of excitement for sure.
you did a video about it. I did a video about it. Everybody else did a video about it.
Yeah, George Knapp did a video about it.
Of course, it was big news here. And what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think it was a really interesting series of events, the way the camo dudes kind of locked down the access roads. And yeah, I really, I've talked about it with some people, just kind of bouncing ideas around. And we've speculated things, like the Anduril CCA drone. We've speculated like the X-Bat, things like that. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, it was a very small drone. You can
Yeah.
when you get there, and I know you've been there.
Yeah.
It's a very very localized impact site.
It is, yes.
So it was whatever it was small, and it came straight down. It didn't do a belly landing where it scraped through the desert. It came straight down.
Yeah, no big burn
And
scar or anything.
My gut feeling is that it might have been an RQ-170
Yeah,
with a
yeah.
classified payload. That
Mhm.
one data plate that I found of a of a piece of equipment.
That's right. You're right.
I think that was what this was all about. It was all about uh, this sixth generation deal, next generation air dominance project. All these drones, AI controlled, happily talking to each other.
Mhm.
And I think that mission that happened that night was all about that.
Mhm.
And something went wrong at this one drone. I heard from one side that it might have been engine failure, that it came down because of an engine failure.
Mhm.
I'm not certain about that, but that would certainly make sense.
Yeah.
But it was not the drone, I think, that was classified, but it was the payload. It was the avionics on the drone that are talking. All of a sudden, you got all these drones chatting with each other, AIs chatting with each other, and that obviously needs to be tested and work very well.
Right.
And I think that's what we saw there. Caleb, thank you for your donation. Hey guys, love the channel. Have you all ever thought about a red flag video? Red flag is coming up, and I'm
Yeah.
going to try and do something.
Yeah, I'll probably make a trip up here for that.
Well, maybe we can link up and make something happen.
Yeah, I think it's a good effort to.
The red flag, for those not familiar with it, I don't want to get into details, but it's basically air exercises here, very realistic in a very realistic combat environment. And it happens here over Rachel into the ranges. It used to be low level stuff. They used to, before they had all the stealth stuff.
Mhm.
Basically their only stealth was to fly so low that the enemy radar couldn't pick you up.
Mhm.
So they would come right through Coyote Summit. If you're on that little hill by the side of the summit, you're looking down on the aircraft.
Yeah. Right.
And they don't do that as much anymore. But if you have enough time, if you're patient, you might still see that. And I hope that we can maybe catch something like that in
Yeah.
during red flag.
Yeah, I think so.
We got red flag 26.1 coming up. We got red flag 26.2 in a month. So there's a lot of opportunities. And if you guys want to come up here for red flag, go to dreamlandresort.com and you can find all the information about good view spots and all that good stuff.
Somebody asked if I've been. Let's see. K Long asked if I've been to the Dulce, New Mexico base. I don't know that a Dulce, New Mexico base exists. I don't buy into like the Phil Schneider kind of an angle on it. But I would like to do some poking around there because I do think it's possible there may have been potentially some classified military activity there at some point. And with all the rumors that are surrounding that place and have for decades, I think it would be an interesting place to visit and at least
Yeah.
see what I could document.
Yeah, perfectly legal and perfectly valid. Don't dismiss something right off the get-go. Go there,
Yeah.
do your own work, and make your own, draw your own conclusions.
Yeah, and there have been some people that have come to conclusions that potentially there was some type of military activity there, not the alien stuff per se, but I think it's worth looking at.
Yeah, there's a lot more stuff going on right under our noses than most people probably realize.
Yeah, right.
And
Leave no stone unturned.
hiding out in the open, probably.
Yeah.
I just saw. Let's see what we have here. I just saw something. Any secrets you know that you can't say? Well, then you can tell us about.
Well, if it's a secret,
If
I
it's a
can't
secret,
say
it's
it's
a
not a
secret.
secret anymore.
Admin G4Q asked that question. And yes, there are a few things that I'm not posting on the website for good reasons because they don't do anyone any good, and it doesn't do anyone any good to know them, and they would probably put some stuff that is happening out over the hill here in danger. So I'm just not posting it.
Yeah.
Aircraft Expeditions. Question for Anders: what got you intrigued and interested in classified black projects?
Yeah, it's something that's kind of been in the back of my mind as like an interest for a really long time. Like when I was a kid, I used to spend hours on like the Black Project forums on like abovetopsecret.com and places like that, just reading and kind of soaking all the information in, just like with this fascination that there's something out there that's unknowable, and how do I learn what that is? And eventually, I started traveling, and I had occasion to visit some of these sites, and I really kind of just expanded on the hobby from there.
Yeah, the mystery. I think that's what draws me into it. The
Yeah.
mystery and the technology. I mean, you got a perfect mix for guys like us, for interested people. You got the mystery, you got technology, you got some secrecy going on, and maybe a little bit of pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
That's all part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys, I apologize if we missed some questions. They raced by so quick. So I do apologize if we miss questions.
Desert Fox Vet. I would like to do some filming around White Sands. Absolutely.
That's an interesting place.
I have a lot of interest in that area. There's some kind of remote facilities around the edges too. It's a huge land area, and there's lots of different subsections of that are worth documenting.
I think in parts of it, at least, you can get access to parts of.
At least to
White
the
Sands.
right.
So that would be interesting, and all these places out here in the West that are so sparsely populated, they could probably be doing whatever the hell they want, and nobody would even know about it.
Yeah, there's a radar cross section range in White Sands, the Ratscat site. I haven't seen any place that can be, any mountain to climb that I could publicly film that site. I've yet to find one. Well, if one exists, somebody can let me know. But I've spent a lot of time looking at topographic maps and Google Earth, and I have yet to find it.
If there is one, I know you will find it.
I'm going to try. Yeah, absolutely.
And again, we got to say for those people that may not be as familiar with what we're doing, everything we are doing is totally legal. We don't ever trespass. We are very careful educating ourselves before we do any of these things.
Yeah. So I have maps that show the boundary where, the Bureau of Land Management public land ends and the base begins. And I always reference that map on any hike that I do. So
like today we had our GPS coordinates mapped out.
Yeah.
Just in case there are no signs, we knew, okay, this is it. We don't want to go any further.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's the most exciting thing you've seen and your best discovery? I don't know if he's asking me at Dreamlands.
Yeah, let's hear yours.
So, I'd really have to think about that too. Probably one of the most memorable things was when I was out at the gates of Area 51 and we saw this jet overhead, that at first I thought it was a B2.
Mhm.
Then I look up and no, that is not a B2. That is a different trailing edge. And there's photos of it on my website. That was one of those moments when I saw something classified flying overhead. And a friend of mine who was with me took photos of it.
That was the RQ-180
That's the
potentially.
RQ-180,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
That's the kind of stuff that I live for, that I go out there for. All the time when these F-117s were buzzing me on Coyote Summit.
yeah.
It
And that was
doesn't
on a
get
Saturday that picture was taken, right? I think I remember reading that post, and it was.
I
I feel
I
like it
think it
was
must have been during the week. I might
okay.
have posted it on a Saturday, but I was up there really for red flag, and red flag is only Monday through Friday.
Hmm.
So, and I was actually looking at the gap that normally the aircraft come out for red flag, and I see something out of the corner of my eye, and I look over there, and there's this huge F-117 next to me. So it was during the week.
Weisberger says I should get in private contact. You're always welcome to email me. Uncanny Expeditions at pm.me. It's also on my YouTube channel. I'm super behind on emails right now just because I've had a lot of travel days the last couple of weeks. But I do read every single email that gets sent.
Awesome. I see Michael is in the No One Before Flash. That's Michael.
Oh hey,
He's in the chat. You guys should meet up at some point. I think you
yeah.
could do some damage there.
I did see when I just checked because I was without a good internet for a while. I saw that you did email me, Michael, and I'll read that and get back to you because I'd like to do something too. So
Yeah, perfect. And I see Linda just posted, questioning caps are easier to read. Thanks, Linda. That's of course my all-time moderator, Dragon Rose. Linda, you're right, Linda. Questioning caps are easier to read and they stand out among the other chatters. So if you got questions, just shout at us in all caps. Why people cannot enter in Area 51? Oh, that's a loaded question.
well, they can, but you've seen what happens when they do. So
Yeah, good answer.
you can physically do it. I don't recommend it.
And Dan Mac White, Dan
Dana MC White.
Dana MC White. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Dana. Dana MC White. Thank you for your donation. Very much appreciated. She says, or he probably says, Area 51 is just a proving ground for aircraft, radar, and flares. The government use contractors like Honeywell, Johnson Controls, Anderson Electrical, and Rawlings Mechanical. They are always working there. Mostly the big guys like Northrop Grumman and Lockheed and the big guys. But there's also, you're absolutely right, there's also smaller contractors that work out at Area 51 and test hush hush stuff. And yes, it is a test facility for hush hush stuff. In a documentary a long time ago, somebody said the memorable sentence that I'll never forget: Area 51 is where the government goes when it wants to be alone. That's pretty much
It's a
something.
good way to put it. Let's see. Blobidic. Sorry if I butchered that. Any interest in sites around the Northeast? Potentially. I don't know of any specific test sites around the Northeast. At
I
least
don't
that I can
either.
think
Are
of.
there
I mean,
any?
there's there was one in New York, wasn't there? I'm blanking on the name.
Off the top of my head, but this is what I'm caring about, so I really don't know much
Yeah.
about other facilities. There might be one.
I have a whole bunch of places bookmarked, so it's possible I have some up there that I'll check out. There is that RCS range down in Florida that's kind of interesting. I think it's a Lockheed Skunk Works RCS range. If I ever make it out east, that's definitely on the list.
Yes, that would be awesome to
Yeah.
shed some light on that one.
Yeah.
And again, Dana McWhite, thank you for your donation. He says, I won't say which one I work for, but there are no aliens. San Clemente Island, good point. San Clemente Island has the answers for the Tic Tac drones. I won't say which one I work for. San Clemente, San Nicolas Island are very interesting islands on the Pacific, almost right under your nose when you live in LA.
Right.
There's some really hush hush stuff going on these islands. I actually have a couple of pages one about San Clemente Island, San Nicolas Island on my website. Maybe I'll put together a video. I can't go there, obviously, they're off limits, but I can do a little video about it and educate the public about it. Do workers from these sites ever contact you guys? Chris, ATX. I certainly haven't been contacted by any workers of those sites. Uh, I don't think it would be very wise for them to do so.
Yeah, I have alleged people claim things. And again,
Yeah,
it's back
yeah,
to the extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So
yeah,
that's all I can really get into on that one.
yeah. Like we talked about earlier, off the record, when we were driving out there. I always say the people that talk about Area 51 have never worked there. The people that have worked there will not talk about it.
Yeah, right.
It's that simple.
Yep.
So I'm always very skeptical. Uh,
Weisberger. What should I pay attention to exactly? Definitely email me. I'll read it. It's frantically trying to get my attention.
okay, well,
I
you
promise
guys
I will read it.
should get in
I
contact.
will
Yeah.
I will read it and evaluate it as best I can, and I am interested. So.
Steve Yeager, do you think the Dorito was an A12 Avenger too? That's an old concept.
Yeah, that's old.
I don't think. I think we could speculate all day long. We probably would never even come close to what it really is.
Yeah, right. We're just kind of throwing darts at a board.
Right. Here's a question: Aircraft Expeditions again. Question for Anders, actually, too. What is your favorite military aircraft? And have you ever been in sticky situation ever before when on your expeditions?
um, as far as a favorite military aircraft, that's a tough one because there's so many that I like. I'm a big fan of the F-117. That's probably
cool.
what I would rank as my favorite. It's iconic. It really is.
That thing looks like something straight out of a science fiction story.
Yeah, it's like this, futuristic but retro at the same time, kind of a cyberpunk look to it. I love it.
Yeah.
As far as sticky situations, I've gotten flat tires out in remote places before, and that's always kind of annoying to deal with, and things like that. But
to also clear that misconception up, there's always people that say, "Well, you go out to Area 51, they shoot out your tires and stuff like that."
they don't do that.
No, it's mostly people from the city that come out here with dry rotted tires, and they drive over some rocks, and the tires spring a leak.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah, you need good tires on the roads out here. That's for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of sharp rocks.
This is Dana McWhite again. Thank you again for your support. San Clemente has good barbecue and good people that are good at playing pool. Well, I take your word for it, Dana.
So-
obviously you're well connected.
Let's see. Michael asked what type of tripod I was using. So I just got it's kind of a basic gearhead. I went inexpensive with it. It's a K&F concept. I haven't personally had any issues with it yet, so I may wear it out quickly. I'm not sure, but so far so good. I actually just replaced my P1000 with a Panasonic GH5 with a 150 to 600 millimeter lens. So the 2 times crop factor of the GH5 combined with an extended teleconverter function and a 2x physical teleconverter, I can actually get slightly more range than the P1000 out of it. And the bigger sensor helps you get a little bit better low light and definition essentially to the image.
Excellent.
So that's update on my current long range gear.
That's great. Yeah, and what Michael uses the P1000, I think.
Yeah, and that's what I used up
Also,
until last.
That does
week.
great.
Yeah,
Great shots.
I've always.
And
loved it.
I think one of the things somebody on my website, I think you wouldn't mind using his first name, Roy, who has donated some images to my Dreamland Resort website.
Yeah, those are great images.
He has used image stacking, basically a technology where you put several images of the same object on top of each other to eliminate random noise like heat distortion. And he's got some fantastic results with that. So I think
those results were amazing.
You might want to look into that. I mean, that's just a way to go. And
my
Tikaboo days are over, I think. But if you go up there and you just take 10 pictures, 20 pictures of the same thing and overlay them on top of each other. Let's see, what do we have? There's a question, all caps. Kevin, can you estimate the wingspan of the Dorito compared to the B2? That's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good
But
question.
you would have to know what altitude they were at.
Yeah, it's tough to gauge altitude. The problem why it's so hard is that looking through the thermal really messes with your depth perception a lot. Everything kind of looks flat. So that's why it's really hard to gauge altitude. And these aircraft didn't have lights on them. It was completely dark. So I'd be completely guessing, honestly, just because of how much thermal screws with your perception. It seemed like the B2 seemed flatter, I guess you could say. The wingspan seemed like it was wider than that to me.
Yeah. Well, the B2 is more spread out.
Yeah,
It's
more
not
spread
such
out.
a steep angle like this one.
Yeah,
This is almost like almost a 90-degree angle, the trailing edge. The B2 is more of blunt angle.
yeah.
So yeah, but I know it's when you look at it with your naked eye, you can somehow guesstimate the altitude. But when you're looking at through binoculars or you're looking at through night vision,
Yeah,
all bets are off.
yeah.
Uh,
Let's see. Noah asked if I have plans to go to Dugway. Yeah, absolutely. Probably this year. I'd say probably towards the maybe the later half of the year. We'll see.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. I can't wait
it's
to
on the
see
list.
that.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Yep.
Now, all these rumors, like people say Area 51 packed up and they all went up to Dugway. No, that didn't happen, but there's a lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah, yeah. It's another really large area that has a lot of places to hide things. So
Yeah. You want to comment on, can you comment on what Mike says? Uncanny Expeditions, what are your thoughts on Kenny Veach? I can't really say. Can you say anything? I'm not familiar enough with him.
I'm familiar with the basics of the case. It's one of those things I just haven't put enough time into thinking about to come up with a really solid opinion on. I don't think anybody's ever been able to find the supposed M cave or whatever that he claims to have found or claimed to have found before he disappeared. Yeah, I just I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
it's a mystery.
Fair enough. It's a
Yeah.
mystery.
Yep.
And I see more donations coming in. Vitally Matalenko. I'm sorry for butchering your name. Thank you for your donation. Love you guys' channel. Keep doing what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
That's the
Appreciate it.
plan. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I love that you love it. It warms my heart. It does.
Absolutely. And that it does feel good. I mean, it's not all about the money. It's not all about the fame. It's not all. It's great to just hear, hey, you guys do great. We love what you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dieter sounds like a German name. Thank you for your donation. I absolutely love you both. Have German name, but don't know once an ounce of German. Keep up the great content, fellas. Thank you very much. I thought it was a German name. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
It's okay. I have a Norwegian name, but don't know any Norwegian either. So,
well, and I have a French name, and I know very little French. So here we go. At least my last name is French. So, Steve Yeager, do you both believe in UAP and NHI? I don't even know what NHI is. I'm giving away my ignorance here.
Yeah, so that would be non-human intelligence.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not. I gotta say.
Yeah, it's one of those things like I kind of touched on earlier. Like I'm open to exploring the evidence. I just feel like at least 99.9% of the claims out there are not backed up by what I feel is good evidence. Yeah. There's a small fraction of things that I do think are kind of interesting, and I hope those get explored more. I certainly think UAP exists as far as there's things that fly that we don't know what they are, and I would love to learn more about what those are. Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. And when I say I do not, I totally believe that there's intelligence out there somewhere.
It's just a question of, is it visiting Earth, right?
Are they interested in us? Are we even remotely on their radar, or are they putting up big signs in space somewhere? These guys are crazy on Earth. Just stay away.
I guess, yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of. I read about this stuff, and people have theories like, oh, they were here, millions of years before humans or something. So who knows? But you could speculate all day. I don't think any of us have the answer.
No, we don't. Obviously, we're only speculating.
Yeah.
Brew Crew Garage. Are you worried the government will come after you? Well, they already came after me. Are you worried?
I wouldn't say I'm worried. I mean, it's something to think about, but it doesn't occupy a lot of my thought, stressing
Yeah.
about it.
No,
If it happens, it happens.
we're
But
not doing anything illegal. And 3 years ago they came in here, took a bunch of my computer systems. They've had over 3 years now to study what I was doing on my computers, and obviously they haven't found anything on them. Otherwise, they would have charged me by now. So
yeah,
no, I'm not too worried about it.
absolutely.
Let's see, what do we have? The questions go by so fast
I know.
that
Yeah.
love Uncanny Expedition. Marty says, love Uncanny Expeditions and love the choice of music you use.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like to put a little bit of thought into the sound of the
Awesome.
video, so
That's something
I'm glad you appreciate it.
awesome. I still have to master. I got my theme song, but I'm usually not using music in videos, and I probably should get into that a little more.
Yeah, it's worth it. Let's see.
They actually came after me too. Weisberger says they actually came after me too. Sorry to hear that, brother. That's rough.
And again, send me
Yeah,
all
that
this in
is-
an email. I see you keep mentioning it. I promise I will read it. I
Right.
promise. You don't have to convince me.
All right. That made the news in Australia. Steve Jaggers. What was that in reference to? I lost track here. What?
Wait, which one was it?
That made news in Australia.
Was it the? Let's see.
We're probably up here somewhere. Any thoughts on what our armed forces are used during the operational capture? I'd like to stay away from that subject. That's getting into politics, and I hope you understand that I want to stay away from any of that. What is their next classified project? Claw EU. I wish we knew.
Yeah.
At least I wish I knew.
Yeah,
Can't
unfortunately,
speak
I'm
for
not
you.
they don't hand me briefings of what they've got going on out there.
Yeah,
So-
they just don't send us memos of, hey, we're going to do this today, we're going to do that today. There's
Yeah.
a lot of guesswork in
Yeah.
this. Okay, Boogeyman Ketchup wants to know which video editing software you use.
So I mostly use DaVinci Resolve. That's the one I've been the most happy with, and it is a free software, so highly recommend
Excellent.
it. Yeah.
Excellent. I have to look at that.
Yeah.
I'm using a video pad, which it's easy to use, but it's a little limited in what it can do. So I'm always looking for something new.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Do you believe the USA used sonic boom weapons in recent attacks? Chris ATX.
I don't know if there's
I think
good documentation
I
of
think
that.
we have certainly sonic weapons for ground forces, and
Yeah,
they are probably
crowd
being
control
used. Yeah, crowd
yeah.
control, that kind of stuff. Sonic boom weapons. I'm not very familiar with how effective those could be employed.
There are like I'm blanking on the acronym. It's on the tip of my tongue. Scupples. Are you familiar with Scupples?
No.
It's like basically a pulse microwave weapon that they can beam sounds kind of like directly at you, and it also apparently makes your skin feel like it's on fire.
Well, okay.
I had a report from somebody. They did post it on the Dreamland Resort forum too at some point. But supposedly he was hit by one of those at nearby the Tejon Ranch facility. He claims,
Interesting,
and I think it's a
yeah.
pretty. I actually found him pretty reputable on that. So,
Okay.
and it is a system that's out there. It is documented.
Yeah.
It-
Yeah,
so-
they certainly have to try it.
yeah,
And,
it is another crowd control
Yeah.
system. Yeah. So
And not to digress too much, but just to briefly get into that, when they had the Storm Area 51 event, I bet they had those sound weapons on the other side.
yeah.
So if 1,000 people storm the gate, they can
They can
control
knock you
1,000 people
back.
just like one person.
Yep.
Bob, thank you for your donation. My favorite YouTubers, keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Always interesting stuff. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Much
appreciate
appreciated. Go native overland. Lots of UAV testing going on at Yuma proving grounds as well at Dugway. Any plans to visit Yuma?
Yeah, I mean Yuma is on my radar for sure. I don't know exactly when I'll get there, but basically all these proving grounds and test ranges I want to kind of have in a regular rotation.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of when, I'll say.
You're going to be on a lot of lists soon, yeah.
Probably.
But yeah, Yuma is much more out in the open, though. It's not as
Yeah.
hush as Area 51.
Yeah.
Let's see. Brew Crew Garage, thank you for your donation. The best channel on YouTube, never change. Thank you very much. And no, we will not change. I can only speak for myself. I have no plans of changing.
And to answer Noah's question, I do plan on doing more of a long-term video on Tejon, doing some more investigating. I'll spare the details because I want to keep it for the future. But
Absolutely. Yeah.
definitely be on the lookout in the future.
Sweet, sweet. I can't wait. I mean, that's it's great for me to see. I mean, I don't want to say the older generation, but I'm probably older than most of you listening right now, and it's great to see the younger generation step up and you doing the things that we used to do, things that maybe we never got around to. That's awesome to see. And
Yeah, thanks.
even though I'm doing a lot of stuff here, I enjoy your videos and catching up on the things that I never get to do. And
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah,
it's great.
it's awesome.
You're doing a lot of people a lot of good, and you can probably see that people love what you're doing.
Yeah, I like I said before, it amazes me that this many of you enjoy it, and I love it. I'm
Yeah.
very thankful. So
That's speaking for myself. That's what keeps me going.
yep,
And
yeah.
it's probably the same for you. I mean, there are days when it's like overwhelming, and oh my god, I really don't feel like going out today, or I really don't feel like editing this video. Going out is the fun part, and then you sit at home, and you got to edit the video, and you got to cut
Yeah.
it, and you got to get rid of stuff that you really think is cool, but other stuff may be cooler. And but
Yeah, the exploring is fun. All the other stuff that happens behind the scenes can be a little little overwhelming at times, but it's
yeah.
worth it.
But yeah, and you guys make it all worth it. That's really the feedback that we're getting that makes it all worth it. Let's see. Do I see any? There's a lot of comments here. Did you get everything back that they took? I'm Dave. I'm Dave. Dave asks that. Did I get everything back that they took? I did not get a thing back yet, Dave. I didn't. Not only didn't I get a thing back, I can't even get answers on who has my stuff right now.
You're right.
So no, I didn't get anything back. They have 2 more years before at the 5 year mark, the statute of limitations requires them to give my stuff back. But honestly, I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah.
Comment for Anders from Aircraft Expeditions. There's cruises in Mexico, a major facility for UAVs. They have a testing range 30 miles north of Las Cruces.
Oh, okay.
Good to know.
Is it do you know if it's an Air Force range? I'm curious, or is it a private contractor? I don't know. I'm unfamiliar with it.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
My focus is really Area 51,
Yeah.
and I really haven't. I know much. I know as much about other bases that I need to know to maybe understand what's going on here, but I'm not branching out as much as you do, and I really appreciate that you're doing all that stuff. You're branching out, and I'm really focused on Area 51. That's what I do.
Well, there's so much to see just
Yeah.
in this one place, so
Right.
you'll never run out.
No. Mookie trolling. Do you differentiate aliens, different alien races, and at the same time phenomenon? God, yeah, I think this is. We're not talking about that. We're really talking about the technology at Area 51. That goes a little bit beyond my area of expertise. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
What's maybe the best camera gear for getting good shots from Tikaboo Peak? I have a 32 megapixel 600 millimeter.
I mean, if you want kind of an all-in-one turnkey solution, the P1000 or P1100 is a great option from Nikon. It's kind of all ready to go for you.
It's got an awesome optical zoom.
Yeah, it has a 3,000 millimeter equivalent optical zoom. The trade-off with that is that you end up with a really small image sensor, so the low light performance and the dynamic range of the image suffers a bit. But you're never going to find that much zoom in a portable package. So if you're looking to get started, start with that. Absolutely.
I think so. That's really that's a camera that Michael uses, that you used before, and
Yeah.
Both of you have gotten good results with that camera.
And I may go back to using it because I love how small it is. I don't know. I just started trying out this new setup lately.
Yeah, and it's not like in the olden days when we used to go up to Tikaboo back in the olden days. Oh my God, that sounds terrible. We hauled our C5 spotting scope up there, big tripod, a T-mount for the camera. We mounted the camera onto the telescope. There just wasn't any digital stuff. was actually in the beginning when we used to go up there. I used to take photos of Area 51, and I had no idea how they would come out until I would get back down, have the film developed, and get my prints out of that.
Yeah, we
There
have
was
it
no
so easy
instantaneous.
nowadays.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's the conditions that we worked at. And
No, I mean,
this panorama actually was taken with a camera through a C5 spotting scope.
yeah,
Uh,
that's
which-
still a way to go too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's still a good
yeah,
option. But
it's a lot of huffing that stuff up there.
yeah,
Tikaboo is not a joke. It's a pretty good hike. But anyway, not to digress too much.
Quit 7.6. I have the Northwoods Performance lift kit for the RAV4.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Let's see. That was just something. Do either of you plan to do a group camp out, Mr. GP3PO? Good to see you here. A very old time. I was been with Dreamland Resort forever. Uh, as much as I would like to, there is so much red tape to do that. Back when we did the camp out for the 50th anniversary of Area 51 in 2005, I had to jump through all kinds of hoops to get it approved. Maybe something very informal, but
yeah, if it was structured as a way of just a bunch of friends meeting up in the desert,
Yeah.
I could see it working. But anytime you have something formal, the BLM is going to want
yeah.
regulations. Right?
Basically, back then, BLM told me as soon as you advertise it in a public forum, or as soon as you mention it in a public forum,
Yeah.
it is an organized event. You are the organizer, and you are responsible for event insurance. Back then, we had to get porta potties delivered on site, and there was all kinds of stipulations. So that I enjoyed the hell out of that event. I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't want to miss it, but I'm never doing that again because it could have gotten so ugly if everybody there was a total trooper. Everybody was great. If we would have had some naysayers in there or some people that, oh, I got hurt, I sprained my ankle, you gotta pay for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
No.
Forget it.
Is there an underground tunnel, Claw EU? Is there an underground tunnel in Area 51? I've never seen evidence for it, but I can't say that I know for a fact there isn't.
Yeah, it could be.
Somebody mentioned S4. Steve Yeager, S4 is near Egg Point. I don't know where Egg Point is.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're the one who's talked to me, I forget if it was either email or Instagram messaging. I did look at those maps that you sent. It was a while ago. I forget. But Egg Point is a spot in the NTTR.
Huh, never heard of it.
Yeah. I mean,
Interesting. The sales call, do you ever find ground sensors like Glenn Campbell used to find? Such a fan of both of you guys. You guys helped me pass time while I'm sailing on board ships.
Oh,
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much for your comment.
Yeah, thank you.
And yes, you do. There are still road sensors out there. And I think last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago, I actually stumbled upon one that was just laying on the ground.
Oh, wow.
I was just going for a drive. I made a video out of it. One of my first videos, actually. It was laying on the ground. It wasn't even buried.
Huh.
I don't think it was active. It
Like
was
erosion had just...
probably either got washed to the top of the ground or fell off the truck or whatever. It was just laying there. And I didn't touch it. I did a video of it, but I did not touch it. Did you hear that, security? I did not touch it.
Somebody asked about Area 6. Area 6 is a area that I have had a lot of interest in. I haven't found a spot that I can get a really good photo of it yet. The closest place you can actually see the Area 6 airstrip, I think, is like Bonanza Peak or something, which is like 42 miles away.
Yeah.
At that point, you're cutting through so much atmosphere. I could maybe make out the airstrip, but I certainly couldn't see the aircraft taking off at that range. So I'm going to keep exploring around. I may find a better vantage point at some point, but it's an interesting airstrip. It's a Lockheed Martin facility. And, yeah.
Again, if there is a viewpoint, you will find it.
Yeah,
You record it.
I won't rest until I do.
But that's a lot of people that have never been out here may not realize how big of an area this is.
It's absolutely massive.
It's not like I always like to say it's not like in the X-Files where Mulder hops over the fence and boom, he's right on the runway.
Yeah.
That's not the way it works. It's tucked deep inside a restricted area, tucked deep inside another restricted area
Yep.
with a huge perimeter. So they have all kinds of space to fly their secret stuff.
Yeah, if you haven't spent time out west, it's hard to wrap your head around the sheer scale of the vast emptiness in some of these places.
Yeah.
It's really incredible.
I mean, it's the size of some European countries.
Yeah, yeah.
That might give you an idea.
Yeah.
Egg Point is near Rattlesnake Ridge. Boy, you're really pushing my knowledge here. I never heard of Rattlesnake Ridge either. As far as in the mountains of the east and constructed by Thyssen. Thyssen is a German company that makes elevators and stuff. Interesting. Well,
Yeah, if there's a
anything
place
about
I can monitor Egg Point from, I will absolutely take a look. I haven't seen a good viewpoint, but
well, okay, here we have another question about aliens. That is really alien reproduction vehicles. Sorry, that is not my area of expertise, and I don't think it's yours either.
well, I mean, I've read about some of these claims. I can't say that I've seen one. If I had, it would be there. Trust me, there would be videos on videos if I had seen an alien. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be burying the lead on that one necessarily.
It's not like, just because we live in Rachel, the aliens knock on our door and we have drinks with aliens all day long.
Yeah,
It doesn't work that way.
but yeah, in theory, I think alien reproduction vehicles are the claim that the U.S. government has reverse engineered an alien craft. And
Yeah. Oh, I see.
yeah,
I see
so
what-
that-
okay.
yeah, there was a gentleman, I think his name Mark McCandlish, who used that specific term. I haven't seen any. No.
When is a white bus going to make its debut?
Well, I've been out filming with it the last few days, so the next video, get
It's
ready.
sitting right out here.
It's outside, yeah.
So yeah, it's awesome. It looks just like the real thing. It's a little shorter, but then it looks like the real thing.
yeah.
So okay, subscribed, and so now listen to my story. UFO Chronicles podcast episode. Okay, well, I'll try and do a listen.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Absolutely. I mean, I know it's true for you, and it's true for me. We get so much feedback that it's sometimes very hard to keep track of and very hard to follow up on everything.
It's
So
It
if
gets
sometimes
crazy.
we don't respond, it's because things fall off the radar sometimes. I read it, I think it's interesting, but then the next thing happens and I got to get on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So,
and for me, I have so many travel days that sometimes it takes me like a couple weeks to even, read something. Like I'll file it away. I have different folders and, I'll get to it. But I do read them. I read them all and I respond to most at some point.
I have so many folders of stuff filed away for future reference that I just never get to.
It gets crazy.
I'm retired and I'm still waiting for the day that I'm going to be bored and looking at all that stuff again.
Right.
The day will hopefully come at some time.
Right.
I think Anders is an alien.
Guilty as charged.
Nice. Well, we're already at almost an hour and a half. We got to kind of start winding it down. It does take. I can tell your voice is going. My voice starts going.
Yeah.
We're gonna and also, folks. I know you have a lot of questions. Maybe we'll do another one like this. Once it goes past an hour and a half, nobody ever watches it again. So I try to keep the videos at an hour and a half max. We totally appreciate your interest. But I think we gotta. Okay, here's one that I want to answer before we get going. Are there any new weather stations, quote unquote, near Rachel, aka cameras they spy on people approaching the base perimeter? I don't know of any new weather stations. We know of the one on Tikaboo.
Yeah, I mean, so far the other mountains in that range haven't had any weather stations appear yet. I imagine it takes a little while to go through the approval process, but
Yeah. Well, the weather station on Tikaboo appeared, I think, in 2008, if I'm not mistaken. And it really, to me, it destroyed Tikaboo. It just isn't, you're not by yourself anymore. You're being watched up there. And, so I wouldn't be surprised if more weather stations pop up. but
I think
don't
they
know
probably
any
will at some point.
plans. Yeah.
It's a matter of time, but so far
So-
we're in the clear.
So I want to thank you all for bearing with us, for listening, and for all your great feedback. We appreciate you.
Yeah,
We appreciate what you're
it's been
doing.
fun.
Thank you, of course, for being here, for doing this with me. This
Thank
was
you
the
for
first.
hosting. Yeah.
I think it was great. I think we
I
had a
loved
lot
it.
of fun.
Yeah, no,
And-
it was a great time, and I appreciate all the viewers tuning in. It was
I
a great
know
discussion.
there's still more questions. Maybe we'll do it again one of these days, or remote, or however. Thank you all, and thanks Linda for keeping everybody in line in the chat here. Don't miss tomorrow night. I'm going to be on with Peter Merlin talking about the A12 program at Area 51. Oh, thank you, Dance, for $20 for your donation. You are amazing. You are amazing. Thank you very much. So tomorrow night on with Peter Merlin. Next Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to be on with TD Barnes. TD actually worked at Area 51. He's not one that says he did. And he can prove it, and he's going to tell you all about the days at Area 51. With that, I'll let you go, and we will probably have a drink or something like along those lines. Thank you very much again for doing this.
Thank you.
It was a great show, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had a great time as well, and I'll definitely be back. So stay tuned.
Awesome. Stay tuned, guys. You hear it.
He walked away, left Germany behind, built a life his way. Rachel, Nevada, dust and light, jets in the sky, no aliens inside. A hat in the wind, his pickup rolls, an iron will and a heart of gold. Dreamland resort for 30 years strong, Area 51 is where he belongs. No hocus pocus, no fantasy, just hard cold facts, his legacy. Signals run wild, YouTube in his heart, camera live. The FBI came but they can't break him down. His fire keeps burning, it won't drown. A hat in the wind, his pickup rolls, an iron will and a heart of gold. Strong, Area 51 is where he belongs. No hocus pocus, no fantasy, just hard cold facts, his legacy. 30 years of desert, 30 years of dust, eyes on the truth, in truth he trusts. Where he belongs. No hocus pocus, no fantasy, just hard cold facts, his legacy. Dreamland resort, he still won't bend. The truth in the sky will guide till the end. No hocus pocus, no fantasy, just hard cold facts, his legacy. Truth alive on Dreamland Resort, where freedom survives. Donate for jerk, he'll thank you true. He lives his dream, nothing breaks through.